This thing's struggling. A little bit late. It's alright, ain't nobody on here anyway. Oh, I see one person. Can't see much. The sun is on the camera. Just gonna keep it on until we score.
You're already burning on your shoulder.
Aaron was waiting for pictures.
They have a better, I feel like they have a better one.
Upstairs, there's more.
Here we go.
That's the family. We're halfway towards that far screen, like
I thought they were the favorite for the group. Really? I think so. They lost their last match.
that's really good. Let's go with that one.
Whatever, say. We just got to put like where? To where?
Right there.
Christian Pulisic being out here today.
Well, John, Mauricio Pochettino telling me before the match Christian Pulisic is making good progress. The hope is he's ready and able to be selected soon. Truthfully, he was a little sad. He did everything to try to be available today. I actually saw Christian Pulisic encouraging teammates before this match. He's been positive on the bench, specifically hugging Ricardo Pepi and offering some words of encouragement there as well.
James, the first one to raise that news before kickoff today. Melissa took a kick to that calf in practice in the days before the Paraguay game. Tightened up during the first half. As he became the USA's all-time leader in World Cup assists. That's the question. Who steps up into that absence and we'll see what's forward today. Kenny popping up on the outside. Trying to lift it up towards McKinney here. Bring it down. Doesn't use disc. It's a cross-hand step back. Putting his head down. Down into the area. Gonna ball to Anthony Robinson, and the whistle's gone. Before the shot was taken from Robinson, Phillips Fire spotted a foul, and there against the U.S.
But this is a great example of why you play with two strikers. And the running from Weston McKennie today, as it was against Paraguay, is going to be very important. because that starts to draw players out of position. But now you've got Mulligan attacking the near post, then Pepe coming over his shoulder. So traditionally the U.S. just play with one. You've got 3 versus 1. This time you've got 3v2, but the movement there just causes a little bit of chaos, and it almost bounces to Pepe. But a good early look, and the most important thing when you get into good positions in wide areas, you have to beat the first man. We can't go there, the U.S. almost not going through.
Turnover in the back for the U.S. in possession. Great block by Chris Richards taking away from the play. The U.S. starting to frustrated right now.
Yeah, the turnovers will be a worse enemy in a game like this, where Australia, look, we talk about them sitting back deep, but when they feel there's a chance to press and you're facing your own goal, they're going to squeeze the game up, and they force the U.S. into 2 careless turnovers that have almost proved opportunities for them to find a way and attack the U.S. goal. So that is something in the middle of the field to be very aware of as Pepe's chasing down Sutar here.
The big man Harry Sutar, the captain, back to the youngster Patrick Beach, just his 4th ever appearance for Australia at the age of 22, but a monster night in the opener 8 stage.
Trying to find shade, but it's too late for that. Just got to stand. I'm gonna go back to the other screen.
Alright. To me, that's a yellow card. Not giving that yellow either. That's very clearly gone. He's late catching the left leg of Tyler Adams there. And he's getting a strong talking to, but no card issue on the play.
Such a leader on this team, such an important part of this team since he was a teenager. Mr. Pochettino, speaking to him yesterday after practice at the University of Washington, he speaks so much about the mental side of the game. He said, more than anything else, we have to compete. We win, we don't win. Okay, we have to compete against Australia. Let's see what they want to McKay. His desk inside. And they'll bring it in for Adams. Holds off Toure. Dist. McKinney. Freeman holds it in. A really interesting thing. It's not hot. It is more in the sun. And the sun is really shining down on that field. It's not sitting around as much the ball as we saw in LA last week.
Really good early signs, though, the U.S. getting Weston McKay involved. He is going to be the key in this game. His running will unbalance this Australian defense. You just see he's very intelligent in the way he moves off the ball, times his runs, and especially on this right side, the relationship with Dest, as you saw there, the two of them move so well off each other. There again.
Over there.
Back to back, first goal of the game.
And it's Barkin driving. You've got numbers in the box that Australia have to be aware of. And the Burgess put in the back of the net by Cameron Burgess. It's an own goal, but Pepe is there waiting for Destiny to run to the near post. Can't quite clear it, trying to get his feet set. But it's a great goal for Phil Balogun that creates that. But putting pressure on this five-man back line, and the U.S. find an early breakthrough once again.
Australia right back on the attack. Jacob Italiano blocked by Anthony Robinson, trying to play lucky. Reed is there. Italiano can't cleanly escape. Italiano running in. Good interception by Adams. They're trying to get Italiano involved. Crossing in, Motore brings it down. Torre turns the face. Torre into the middle. The line falls. Shot just wide. Well, Matt Freeze, cement shoes there. Anthony Leckie goes close.
Instant response from Australia. Good movement off the ball. Leckie starts on the far right side. There's a lot of U.S. bodies there, but really a very good job just shielding Chris Richards and lays it off to be hit first time. That's not far away. Outside of the foot, looking for that far post.
You guys could go sit right up here and see how those kids are sitting. I can't get up to the ball.
Right next to whoever wins this game clinches their spot in the next round. With the game still to go. If the finish is a tie, neither team would clinch, and there are scenarios in play for both teams where the late game tonight, the other game in the group between Paraguay and Turkey, the U.S. corner tonight clinching top spot in the group. Not why we had a pass there on Burgess.
And I literally fit a place to like
Let's give it a U.S. corner.
Quite frankly, just the athleticism and speed at which they can play.
Yep, they can right in front. All the kids are sitting right there. If you guys want to go sit right in front, there's literally
runners everywhere.
like go around right here, go around these
As they
guys.
go on that own goal, scrambling to clear the ball, goes out for a U.S. corner.
See, y'all can literally go sit next to those guys.
Fields fires.
Yeah, follow E, follow E.
And it's the jockey for position.
That's
But they
it. Follow
stacked
E.
their big bodies, Australia, at that near post. So
Yeah,
more
like
than likely, the U.S. have been trying to hit the far post to try to free guys up. That's what the conversation is right now about Jocelyn Tripp and Brandon Tucker. Everybody's got an eye on it. But the U.S.
Go away. I know it's like Chris Richards all the way all day.
I did not realize how like
Yeah, you're wet.
like oh wow
You look like you just went swimming.
Zuma swings it in. And it was a handball against the United States.
That's what they do. Beat that first man, put over the 6 minutes since Harry Sutar. When it's Weston McKinney, whose last goal for the U.S. was off the set piece against Belgium. He gets a great look at it there. You see, it was blocked by, it was Boss comes right off his chest, and then the right hand of McKinney hits it on the way back out. Great block by Boss, because that was going in that fourth corner.
You see the way the ball just slowing up a little bit on some of those passes in the back, and the way the Australians are chasing it down and causing some pressure. A little flick there by Dest. That was Burgess going up the back of Balogun. Tackles it away, but falls to Torre. Chris Richards is there. And this is part of the conversation in this game today. Australia want to make it physical. They want to make this tough, so how does the referee handle it?
Well, the referees,
well enough.
if we go back to the friendly where the two of these teams played the last time, the man not playing today, US's star player, Christian Pulisic, was kicked around. Mauricio Pochettino not happy with his own team's reaction, and how they stepped up their physicality. Second half, they changed that. They ended up winning that game 2-1. And from that point on, there was a marker that was laid down to all of the players. And the US, I would say, improved their intensity, their physicality. It's going to be the best for sure.
Catching looks like a
pass there. That's what the young player is. He's just been excellent again. It was almost identical starts to the game against Paraguay. Over the opposition. You know, through a couple of nervy moments in the beginning as they did against Paraguay. From that point, it has been
Yeah, did you like
nice. And now they're going to get another chance from a side.
Which is why this should be a good matchup.
You've got Tillman and Anthony Robinson getting set over the middle. US is going to push just about everyone up for this.
I'm interested who's going to take it because you have two options. The left-footed Robinson, which would bend on top of Beach, or Tillman doing a good one. Now we're putting pressure on this young goalkeeper. Straight away.
Robinson runs away. Tillman sends it in. So again with a flick. Tries a few moves for the crowd. He's a guy that he's coming off a career year. Winston. It's not just, you know, Tillman into the middle, too far for Balogun. For McKinney, it's not just the stats, it's the fact that he's played in different positions for his club in Italy, Juventus. He's indispensable to them all over the field. He goes wherever he wants, he makes the game wherever he wants, and that was, I think, a big part of why you immediately, when we knew Pulisic wasn't going to play, said, Weston's got to be the guy today.
And because of the role that he is featured in, there's a big question. What position is his best position for the United States? Is he deeper? After seeing the season he had in Italy, where he was providing goals and assists, and that's part of that intelligence. And Mauricio Pochettino has found the right role for him. They have good structure behind the ball, so he doesn't have to worry as much about the defending, and he can just go and find those spaces that make an opponent uncomfortable. And you talked about how the grass is drying up. You saw that on the turnover from Australia. Because of the heat here today, it is a slow moving ball. And a couple times,
Cass had the wood today.
the US have chucked those passing lanes. So we'll see if that has an effect as this game goes on.
I don't work. Pretty good. I was already here and I got here later.
Testing some immediate pressure there.
What's your business today, Troy? Good for her.
Anthony Robinson now. Stepping for Pepe there was Hayden O'Neill of the City FC MLS. Teammate of U.S. goalkeeper Matt Freeze. Brings him to that pass. For Weston McKinney. Off defending on a yellow card.
Yeah, her.
Alex had to quickly recover. Thumbs up for Weston McKinney at the end of the play. Reed.
Aaron Cass is on last game.
Walk up for Dex to keep it in play.
Whatever. She's having to take some like.
Good pressure by Dex. Into the box. A lot of numbers in there.
Bunch of made-up words they're using.
Nobody on the transition. It's a speed from Torrey, and Matt Freeze is going to be alert to come out of his goal to deal with this one and just put it. Looks like it's staying.
Yeah, it's staying play. And that was great work by Alex Freeman as well, putting a body on Torrey to try to slow him up. And that is where Australia are just so dangerous. Lecky wins the knockdown. Italiano now. Anthony Robinson there. It's a U.S. throw. Lost off the Australian player. The U.S. getting an own goal for a second straight game that has never happened in the history of the FIFA Men's World Cup. And in fact, all time, only France have benefited from more own goals than the United States. That is number 5 in the history of the U.S. But as you point out, it's not just because of a terrible error as much as it is you create that chaos.
And as you pointed out, who cares?
Doesn't seem as much fun when you're working.
It's a goal for the United States.
Some strikers might. And it's over the top. He's going to hit from time.
And he's looking, how did I miscontrol that? I don't think he gets enough credit for the running he does off the ball.
And then lucky that was good work to kind of look Anthony Robinson off and allow Italiano to get on a run.
We don't have the attack. Yeah, like we lucked out with that first goal, you know.
We bring up Flo Alvin. He scored twice in the game against Paraguay. Described it as a dreamy night. First time since 1930, the U.S. got multiple goals out of a player in a World Cup game. The guy that couldn't play for Nigeria, where his parents are from, was playing for England at youth level.
Yeah, you're still thinking
He chose to play for the United States when he was born. Told us yesterday, the American people are passionate. They're upbeat. I love that about them. He said you felt that in the atmosphere in LA. You're feeling that today as well as Torrey lays it off for Lecky, who's going to keep it in play, re-defending. Lecky crossing. Oh! We've got Freeman's put for a corner.
Really important because I thought Uruguay had a jump on him, and just watch Freeman at the end of this accelerate to get away.
Yeah.
Good long build up from Australia. They get a look that they would want. They're 3 against 3 right now. They just want to always be +1 in the lines, making sure they have a man that can cover. Look at that. And speaking about own goals and situations where you're under pressure, the ball can go anywhere. Great concentration, committed early, gets his foot across, and it's going to be a corner. They have some big targets. Sutar, 6'6". So the other two center backs, Burgess and Chicago, around 6'3" and 6'4". So this is an area for the U.S. right now. As you can see, the height advantage right there from Sutar.
All on Insler to take. First quarter of the game for Australia. It's just clipped up there towards the penalty spot, knocked down. Freeze and waits.
Should be another corner, I think.
There was Weston there, it was Tyler Adams, in fact, looked like got a touch. Look at hesitation from the referee.
So what Australia were trying to do there is really a lofted ball that allows Sutar with his height to win that first one, which he did. And then gets poked away.
You got the right idea.
At the end, and being in the corner. They're stocking their bigger players on the back post. That's the man they're trying to free up. So Freeman's trying to wrestle him right now just to make sure he can get positioning. But it's a tight balance. Referee's looking right at that.
Swing from the inside to foul, and that was no freeze. Ends up on the deck. And that will take us to our match break, sponsored by Lenovo. Halfway through the first half of play.
Still got it.
It's sunny and currently wild in the day in Seattle.
But, you know,
Water refilling stations are available at 3 locations throughout the country. Visit listing stations for lower water temperature. Visit the Atlantic Lounge with the Georgia Power Masters and many signs of cleanliness touring staff.
Friar cut.
Kind of like Broadway.
I know it's kind of like that's normal. Slowly making it a home, you know. Rachel opened up her dental practice next door to Argosy last week. You know, so if you need, she's got that going. She bought the house across the street from us.
And she was having a day.
leadership on full display. He took a moment to pull Weston McKinney aside.
Just taking it out on you.
Such a long time the coaching staff actually had them rejoin the huddle.
There's some good shit.
Yes, it is more under shade. Obviously, you're seeing the rain off the pitch.
Well, I don't know how good Rachel's like.
It's comfortable down there, so nothing
It's nearby.
really in that regard.
Where did you go?
One of the interesting things that we've seen throughout this World Cup is how the defensive shifts significantly.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that going.
This is not brand new in the sense that they've become a thing in recent years to take a break on a hot day. It's not because we're doing it every single day. It's
Designed to be helpful in your first stuff. It's called CPC. Like everybody that walks up in this stuff.
Continuing that same intensity.
People coming in, they're like, don't do that. Yeah, you're written on right now.
Pointing in different positions. So oftentimes we have seen on some of these breaks, and specifically that England-Croatia game where it was only one than the break happened, and then Croatia came on, tweaked a couple of things, they got back into the fifth. That's something you want to try to do. That's good. When the field is wide open, you have an opportunity to really the same way it was at the start of the game.
US as it stands, with a win, clinching a spot in the next round. The game still to go. Thursday night down against Turkey, as you saw. Two of the three possible results. Turkey played Paraguay tonight would mean the US actually clinch the top spot in the group. That's the most favorable flag in the knockout round. Anthony Robinson's cross is away from him. Well, that was going
Too
out.
far. Too far.
Something I've been very impressed with, and this was
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of Spain fans, you know, and there were a handful of Verde, but there's like kind of a big I mean, my buddy Ross, his ex-wife,
it doesn't matter because it dropped the center with him. And it opened that space then for Robinson to make that run. The service wasn't there, it didn't come off. But great signs for the U.S. The center-backs, they don't want to make those runs. But when you force them to,
it's one of those mythical things like diabetes.
but then the next one, you open up space for your team.
Yeah.
First time in a decade, the U.S. better
Yeah, it was a good,
see
like,
that. It's a
the
completely
crowd was
different
very
town.
invested. By the end of it, there was mostly fans there. By the end, everybody was cheering for Cape Verde because they're the underdog team and they had been voting Spain the whole time. So it was like a fun, you know, it was a fun
With
atmosphere.
World Cup soccer in mind, unlike a lot of the other NFL stadiums that these games are being played in, the plans were drawn up in the late reality was the driving force Portugal in the stadium. They made sure the stadium was built wide enough to hold a World Cup soccer field, which is more than 20 yards wide of an NFL field. Support here over the years for the support, for the sport of soccer.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
The U.S. making that much more a perfect day. Getting a win. Alex Freeman. Just taking to keep that away from Montoya. Pepe running, it's hit backwards there by Chicani, and it's cleaned up apparently by Italiano. And it gives the U.S. a corner.
Italiano's head spinning right now, quite frankly, because he's not sure how far and how aggressive he should be with Anthony Robinson. And then that space when he steps out, the U.S. are saying thank you very much. Because Chicani doesn't want to come out of the box. He wants to stay within the lines of the box and defend. And the U.S. are taking advantage of that space down either channel. Which was so much easier to get. I wasn't sure it would be that same space. But the movement and the running off the ball has been excellent once again from the U.S.
Lee Tillman once again to take. Inside of the ball. Richards was up for it, just too tall for him. Hard running there and chased it down by Alex Freeman. He runs for the U.S.
That's like pretty much look at that one.
Son of Antonio Freeman, Green Bay Packers wide receiver, Super Bowl winner. 30 years ago was catching touchdowns. Here, it's the same spot as the old Kingdom. He was playing for the Packers against the Seahawks, and now his son is playing for the United States in the World Cup game.
That's right. Most times it's pretty self-explanatory. There's a bunch of weird little nuances that they made this. That nothing to do
Options. First touch for his own as well. It's about to shift his Robinson. Just to take right front touch and right here. Chicago just breaking down the side of his left leg. They grew up in Australia. Dad was a professional player. She switched a couple of years ago from playing for Italy to playing for the Socceroos, and now he joins Joey Moss. Yellow cards right now. Anthony Robinson, the free kick, trying to get in there. There's a foul. There's an Australian player down for the Treasures. Coming up next on Fox, action from Group C. Scotland facing Morocco. We'll see that's going to be in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Obviously, it's going to be in Philadelphia. Those matchups are during today's World Cup coverage. Continues on Fox.
Soccer World Team. Okay, so Alex Murray, Jay Ellison, Servando Carrasco.
Basically, another one of those just important foundational Seattle Northwest members of the Jupiter Soccer loyalty, former starting goalkeeper for the U.S. in a World Cup. Alex Warner, World Cup winner. Jill Ellison, World Cup winning coach. Right now, had an unbeaten first year as Australia's coach until October. They lost to the U.S. in a friendly. Again, we call them friendlies, old-fashioned term. Mauricio Pochettino really dislikes that term. Non-official matches. The U.S. came from behind in Denver. It was a nasty game. It was actually not bad. This one is head back inside. So far, next slide. Actually came off the hurt midway through the first half, so it's not altogether different than the U.S. is playing out racing today in the sense that
These little plays will frustrate the opposition as long as you can do it in the right way. This Australian team right now reeling a little bit from the start that they've had. They had one opportunity, we're lucky enough to have a good shot. But largely been on the defensive side of the game.
Drew's like in here somewhere.
For them, that's not real, but just the way the U.S. have been able to pin them down but still be dangerous. Oftentimes you see them sitting in deep pocket, conceding shots from distance. A lot of times this test is just just trying to stop. When it comes off, he breaks open the game. I love seeing him in this attacking position on the right.
all the way out to the left. Good work by Italiano to outlet him through that time. That was how the U.S. created that own goal. Robinson dumped off the ball off the... When you think about it, the U.S. does not have a shot on goal right now. They've not really created a ton of chances in 35 minutes, but one of the chances they did create ended up in the back of the net. Comes in there again.
It wasn't like it was like a mess happened in the box, and it went off of like one of those.
Italiano was going to tackle it out of front of Robinson.
What happened?
And that's the big difference because Turkey couldn't find the back of the net with the chances they were creating. Saturday night in Vancouver. The cliche of the game is that goals change games, and how different this is for the same of that group.
But the difference also is, if you look at the stat, Well, it took it a ton of shots outside the box. They didn't test the Australian ball at Patrick B. So the U.S. being patient in moments of waiting for the gaps to open up. But while having the ball and shifting it quickly, you break it down that hard. So you're doing the work from later in the game, not just now. That's something to consider for the second half and as this game goes on in the opposition.
Now we're about to get some relief.
And this is something I would love from this team. From 1 to 11 on the field, the field.
Where did you find your water?
Counter-pressing when the ball turns over, just a real commitment to stop the opposition.
Somewhere. Yeah, I was
not
thinking
this one just felt like that.
German born and raised, American service.
I thought they didn't have like.
Born and raised in the Netherlands, his dad, a long-time member of the military, who served in Vietnam. Mr. McKinney was born in Fort Lewis. It's a big part of the story is the number of players over the years on this team. Sons of American servicemen. And whether raised in this country or not, in that case, they choose to play for the United States. And these guys are so dialed into this opportunity. The crowd in LA, the way the country's engaged. As guessed, Australia flooding numbers backwards, crossing in, Pepe rising up. It was big Harry Souttar ahead of the way. Australia struggling to deal with it. Des trying to get in, scrambled out for a U.S. throw.
Another good example. Sending the ball turning over and retrieving. No, put the pressure on. Look at the ball's in the box. Great recognition by Des. It was his cross that was clear. Finds the ball in. And just a lot of panic at the back from Australia as that was out of the Australian throw.
I think it was Mom, look here. Mom.
Yeah, they're not like a big one.
It was wonderful for a long time.
He's got good up there.
The investigators came out screaming his dad holding his head as his Paul Peninsula. And immediately the medical staffs are rushing out.
The Freeman was just trying to flick this ball hard. And Logan Engsler just crashes into the back of them. Two players challenging for the ball. It is a foul, but there's nothing more in this one. Tim Remus, we so often see his captain coming over. A lot of he's a coach on the field for Mauricio Pochettino with his experience.
Yeah, breeze. I like the breeze.
Chance for the Australians as well to come over their coach, Tony Pavlovich.
And this is checking out the right side of Australia's defense. And in fact, just think about his hand motions there. I think he said, look, when I have to step in with Mulligan, it's leaving space in behind him. That's what I've seen him struggling with, that decision making. Space. This was on the goal. This was Mulligan running in behind him. Gets in behind, squares the ball across. Souttar had to commit to the near post to try to block it.
Here's the goal.
If he doesn't put this put in, it's a tough spot for a defender, especially when you're going with that left foot there. It's hard to get your body turned and clear.
Joy scenes throughout the building. Here in Seattle, as Alex Freeman is sitting up now. Engsler is on his feet. Where do you see Freeman now? Come back up to observation. He's at halftime show live here on Fox. Rob standing on American Soccer Royalty. Sands pregame. Before half a set on the closet on the north side of the stadium.
I don't think I can have a beer.
And this is good. This is a team doctors right now checking these guys for potential concussion symptoms, making sure that they're here to continue in the game. That's what the referee's conversation is right there.
I'm not that far.
Chris Richards has run over to chat with Mauricio Pochettino. It's just so tough because you're a player, you want your stars on the field if you're a coaching staff, but you just have to be so smart about long-term health. The brain is a muscle that is just, as we all know, it's hard to really know for sure anymore. And so, being very intentional and deliberate here, the medical staffs, both looking at these players, checking them out, another opportunity in a little while. It's a little longer than halftime, but for now, both Freeman and O'Connor look continuing. And I get quite a bit of stoppage time.
I was like, I'm just down the street. Are they getting ready to shoot
The break and then the stoppage there. It's a long way still to go.
I took like 15 kids.
One save.
I think they're like,
Beach has actually not made a save. He's not made a shot on it. Just the tackle that pretty soon bags over the field.
yeah. I was like, Andy, get in the front.
This Vaseline drop, we gotta worry about these guys.
Possession stats for the United States. The defense in the first game against Ghana by 71% of the first half, bringing out a 70-30 split. So both teams tracking exactly how we thought the game would line up.
It's my first semester. Yeah. It's like,
The U.S. for the second group.
yeah. I'm excited. It's what it's coming out this season, so it's going to
Mr. McKinney actually moved to the getaway. Here's McKinney.
Just let them dribble.
It was like a, yeah.
Freeman for
I mean,
Texas.
I'm
Freeman's out on that side now.
Wait.
Tillman not for the first time working hard to win for the U.S.
Tillman runs off him, finds the return ball, and I thought perhaps a chance for a penalty there if Des just drags his legs and takes some of the contact. So very honest, because so often you see players, he got there first and touched the ball to the side. I think if he just takes that contact from him, just lets it happen, and he stays on his feet thinking he can get on the end of that one, leads him to set piece.
Robinson fills in the back. Check, so we're holding it right now. Watching this as well. Your thoughts?
It comes up in the Australian defender, but that's not the defense. It could still be offside. However, I think that the defender, the replays that I'm showing, the Australian defender is coming back. And I think that the back leg isn't just putting the player who scores the goal. I think so too. I think it's recognition there of an opportunity for Freeman. What's a heading that ball up?
This is where they say the automated offside technology is players. It's why no stopping.
And sometimes conditions could be deceiving, but
Because there was a second U.S. player who was in offside position. Here's the decision. We'll wait for Felix Fire.
After picture review, the goal scorer was not in offside position.
like that one to stand in front of that kid.
To get into a goal position. From almost running off the field to staying on the field. What out for that young man, 21 years old.
Some of the top players were not a part of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Alex Freeman is one of the guys who got his opportunity as a result. And he is, after becoming a lockdown starter under Mauricio Pochettino at that Gold Cup, played every single game since. You take your opportunity whenever, however it comes. And how similar that is to the game Friday against Paraguay for the U.S. to get another goal late in the half. Might be more quiet. We still got 30 minutes in. Tell them what's going on.
This crowd really 12. Obviously, they were 12, 13, 14. The sound of this building from the moment this team walked out front. They've been walking the streets. Just such a positive way.
Never in my life.
These U.S. fans are fired up, quite frankly, for good reason. This team is unbelievable. And once again, it's really good. Thank you.
Anthony Robinson, short option. Robinson runs away. Tillman hooks it in. Marty's already down. Richards was rising up, and there was a foul there. So it was Jeremy Gator went there. For common reasons, they're not allowed to say 12th man. They're there at 12.
No, I just think it's like, right through that channel of blue, like, that 1 mile south of that, yeah, beautiful
Very successful. He came up through the Orlando City Academy, made a move, started playing out
my whole thing is Spanish
This just becomes such a big
I was in front of him, was
and this season is going to go
I'd love that crowd to be there. It's I like that really big thing. It was
This is our Australian team winning that first game and putting themselves in a good position. But you don't want this to get over.
So this would be a guaranteed
How hard do you go and come back in the US?
From the U.S. standpoint, it was one of the things that we talked about with Chris Richards yesterday. They don't want to get complacent off the back of the first win. They don't want to get complacent now. Because Paraguay won't be able to get first strings in the second half. And you know the Australians are going to spend the entire halftime looking straight to get fun.
This is well for this US back line. They take some pride in a clean sheet because they're sitting out there and they've conceded a goal in 11 of their last 12 games. As it was against Paraguay, they can't even know. A clean sheet, no goals against would be huge for this confidence of this group defensively. It's going to first half for this US team. Answering the questions again, right? We did it once against Paraguay. Can you go again? The answer to that question is yes.
Freeze is getting the count. He's got to go quick here. 5-second countdown for the referee. Taking the goal kick. And then Emby is out jumped. It didn't last come off him. It did. Australia throw. US is going to stay switched on here. Final 2 minutes or so of this first half. We'll see if we go past 52 minutes on the clock as we watched a lot of the first minute of stoppage time with the goal celebrations. Strong hitter there. That was a strong hitter. Now again,
takes it up to the back of the head. Full Balogun is down.
We're doing our more balance.
Ends up as an Australian throw. Just caught the chin, it looked like it. Here he suits our 6'6" Australian captain. So Balogun back on his feet. Australia with a throw. Coaching how they created their hold against the U.S. in the fall was starting from a throw-in. Adams intercepts with Robinson's help. Timmons and a flip there. Happy Balogun wants to rubber it.
Our restaurant too, Australia.
Shorts here, drags out of position. Not even 3-1. Open up space for Serginho. Test trying to go left field in front of the far post. Australia maybe trying to find something right at the end of the first half.
His way through. Back to the near side from Jordan Boss. Final seconds. Final play of the half. Davis can't wrap the tackle. Australia with the ball. Ends up just kind of petering out for a goal kick. And look at the entire U.S. bench right now. Every single player is
T-shirts, hand fans, water bottles, and much more. There are different food vendors and food courts. In the bar and in the restrooms, and one is sponsored by one of the treats. Large collection of restrooms can be found to the left of the stage for the new
just fill out the form. That's it. This is more than a more. This is free to go.
All right, where's your water?
Y'all are watching on the big screen.
Chase dreams, chase greatness, chase legacy. Never chase reality.
Political good quality and fight.
It's, I mean,
Where sickness and neglect have afflicted generations.
Yeah, butter and cream. Yeah. They're ancient.
Their access to information since
I don't think it's
You want this? Come on. Yeah, come, get on up. We got you. Oh, damn. You want to do though?
It's also been something incredibly involved.
Yeah, it really changes the game.
The advantage you get of that, especially in the second half, to figure out who your subs are going to be and how to work on. I don't need it. Other than that, you only get halftime to talk to your players about like how they're doing.
You do sometimes see like a shift in like how they're playing or like what they're doing. Yeah,
Get what you know. I still can't believe Peter ended up finagling, and then he flew back red eye from Lake Tahoe to go to the game, 2 hours of sleep. They're extremely hungover.